Good morning. This is Mona, and this is my morning view. Today, Fall Edition 2025. Cold. It is Tips Tuesday. Tips Tuesday. I'm trying to keep my arm extended. I have it stretching out and being held up by the chair next to me. I can't get... Maybe I can. Turned. I can get turned. There. That way, I can actually look at the screen. Okay, so, today's Tips Tuesday on my morning view. I don't even know if I said who I am. I'm Mona, just in case I forgot, because, it's been quite a morning. Quite a morning. Nothing crazy, just, I'm tired. That's all. Just tired. I'm trying to think of what to talk about today for Tips Tuesday. So there was a couple things swirling around in my head, and one was, okay, not everybody that smiles at you is your friend. Not everybody that talks nice to you is your friend. That one of those things that can reveal something is like if people are gossiping to you, the chances are they're gossiping about you. So keep that in mind. Then there's another idea of, that there are certain things that people say are taboo, and other people are like, taboo? That might not be the word I'm using. That's the word I'm using here for certain activities. And my thought is this, is that there are people that have way more credentials than I have, aka I have none. Other than the fact that I've been a Christian for over 45 years, there's that, but it's not a ladder after my name or any of that. So, but there are people that have more access to information and experience than I have in certain situations and things. And so when they're saying something is taboo, I can either glean from their experience and just stay away from it, or I can go rogue and do my own thing, and then I would have to pay the consequences if I was wrong. Now, I'm not saying that all people that say all things are all-knowing. I'm not. And there are certain circumstances and situations that the Lord may have us in that He may not have other people in, because, well, He has a mission for you in whatever arena that may be. And so it's just something that you have to be cautious of, entering into an arena if you are not called to be there. Hanging out with them because you like them, that's a whole different thing. Jesus hung out with sinners. He didn't sin. He didn't partake in their activity. Now, mind you, we had gotten to a conversation of alcohol and Jesus in reference to wine. And somebody asked, is it wrong to drink alcohol? And my answer was, depending on what pastor you listen to. Because there are some pastors that they have seen the evils of alcohol, and so they condemn all of it. And there are some pastors that are like, drink responsibly. Don't get drunk. Don't get stupid. And if you can't handle it, don't drink. Period. And then there's others that are like, it just doesn't matter. I say be careful of alcohol because it can open doors that you don't want. I don't know if I can get this over. Oh, I did. I wasn't sure if I could get over the railing. So I would say be careful, especially during this holiday season. There has been, we had this conversation about alcohol on Friday, and on Saturday, an alcohol-related incident happened to a close family member of one of those in that conversation. And it wasn't that the individual was inebriated, but there was alcohol involved, and therefore there was an accident, a preventable accident, and now somebody's struggling for their life. And so with that, my prayer is that the devil does not get any praise from this, that he doesn't get anything out of it, that only God gets the glory, that there will be complete healing, that there will be no residual ailment, either physically, mentally, and that spiritually, that they will come out with victory in this. And that's my prayer. But alcohol can be an open window. So be mindful. I talked about minding your P's and Q's. That was actually an alcohol verbiage. It had to do with pints and quarts. It had to do with drinking too much, and then your opinion starts flying out, maybe secrets start flying out, not good for OBSAC, that's for sure. So there's all these different things that happen when you are not sober-minded, and so that almost comes to be the theme lately about being sober-minded, and you can't do that if you're inebriated, either through alcohol, drugs, medication. Medication will do it to you too. You have to be careful. I know that there are medications that you need to take, and you can't just jump off of them, or it could cause very adverse effects. So I am definitely not saying don't take your medicines. I'm on medication. They're not medications that cause mind issues, how you have some of those words on the bottom, or on a little tiny print, or the real fast speaker at the end, and they said, may cause suicide, or suicidal thoughts. It's like, no. But sometimes you're on those, and you can't just come off of them, because if you come off them, well, it's not good. So you have to be weaned off of them with a doctor. And so if you have decided you don't want those anymore, that is something you need to discuss with your doctor. Do not act like you know everything because you heard it on YouTube, or, on Facebook, or anything else. Speaking of YouTube, make sure you go over to YouTube, to Mona E. Harrison. That is my YouTube page. She's going a little nutsy with her toy. You go over to Mona E. Harrison. You'll see my white hair. You'll see my beautiful face. You'll know you're in the right spot, and subscribe. All right. So I did not think of a Christmas carol again, because, well, it was a busy day yesterday. After work, there was the winter concert at the school, and then I had physical therapy, and, it becomes a very busy day when you have multiple things thrown in the mix 3 days a week at the minimum, and the holidays continue to get more backed up and more condensed with things involved within them that can cause you to go off rail, right? And then you throw 3 days of physical therapy and a trip to the doctor, and all all of the stuff. So I had a trip to a doctor last week. I have a trip to a doctor this week, plus my 3 sessions of physical therapy. And so I don't get around to doing a lot of stuff. I don't get around to thinking about a lot of stuff. And so trying to figure out how I'm going to, resolve this December dilemma. What do I bring to you special for December? And here it is, like the 9th, and I have not brought anything special yet. I'm just bringing the normal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's events. And so if that's what it is, then that's what it is, because we're not going to stress out in a holiday that exemplifies peace, but usually brings anything but. And so kind of reminds me of the peace on earth in Jesus' time. When he came, there was nobody fighting. Yeah, you had some domination. You had Roman domination there around the Middle East and Europe and that area. You had domination happening, but there was no actual wars being fought or battles being fought. So it was relatively peace on earth when he came. And then it became chaos and wars everywhere. So I think about peace on earth, and I think about Jesus saying that he came to divide. I'm always talking about Jesus is about multiplication. God is about multiplication. And the devil is about division. But you know what? Jesus was like, no. Father against son, mother against daughter. It's going to happen. But eventually, that's what peacemakers do. They don't come at it as, let's just keep everything here. Sometimes peacemakers cause chaos and problems in order to come to a better solution and create peace, real peace. Which is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being sober-minded. I'm talking about being aware of your surroundings. And so when someone comes at you, trying to poke you to start an argument, don't fall for it. I kind of did. On Facebook, of course. I didn't say a lot of things that I could have said, and I did not. And I held my tongue. And the person is obviously, I don't know, delusional or something, because she had no grasp of what I was saying and accused me of a lot of things that I'm not. But, it's because she had an agenda to make me look bad because I said one thing that she didn't like. And that one thing wasn't even anything to get upset about. I had no stake on it. But I guess she thought I did. I know that I should not post on anything remotely political. And yet, in my tiredness, I did it. And I didn't even say anything with an agenda. And it still backfired on me. So I'm obviously to stay away from those. So there's another tip for you. Stay away from those. Be soberly minded, because when you're tired, you're not soberly minded. All right. That's all I got for you today. Blessings, everybody. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow for Wonderful Wednesday. All right. Bye.